Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena and we are already down 4 or 5 tiles by now. We have been working on watercolor backgrounds and drawing simple floral patterns on an already created watercolor background that we did in the first session. Yeah. So this is the tile that I'm going to be working on today, and this is my blue micron. I have a blue background and I will be drawing over it with my blue micron. However, if you do not have this blue micron, you can always use your black. That's not an issue. Yeah. Let's get started with a tangle called Quandary. It is a Zentangle original. It is again a very floral kind of a tangle, like petals or leaves floating in the air. And I'm going to start right away from the center here and create these nice rice shapes or seed shapes in sets of 3. Yeah. So third one goes like this. That's the first one. Yeah. Again, I'm going to extend and create the flower, but at the same time work in sets of 3. Yeah. So this is the second set. Again, I'm going to add a nice rice shape. Again, add one more here. Completed this set. Something like the way we work for triply, but here the shape is the rice shape. Yeah. So that's one set. Again, I'm going to continue in the same fashion, extend it. So these two, the third one comes here. Again, going to add one more. The third one comes here. Again, going to keep extending. So don't bother too much if they are not falling exactly in place. That's fine. No mistakes. Everything does look nice as far as Zentangle is concerned. But keep working in sets of 3. Yeah. So again, going to add one here. Again, close it, add one here. These two, again, close it, add one here. Again, extend, add one here. And add a hidden one here. Add some hidden one here. Right? I think you have got a hang of it. So they will automatically form flowers within themselves also as you keep doing this exercise of adding these rice shapes or seed shapes in sets of 3. Yeah, so we are creating this flower also. It's a beautiful pattern. I think it is highly underrated. We don't use it much, but it's a beautiful background. And you can see I'm drawing over a nice background, watercolor background, how beautiful it looks like. Yeah. Tangle Quandary. So I'm going to continue like this. It's a perfect meditation. Just go on adding the same shape, complete each triangle, complete each set of 3 like this. Don't bother too much about the placement. Just go with the flow. Yeah. So I'm going to go on like this. Take your time. Yeah. So I'm almost finishing there, adding the last few, continuing in exactly the same fashion. sets of 3, drawing behind at places. Yeah, so that's our basic quandary. Now time for some embellishment. So you can embellish these petals or leaf shapes any which ways you want. I'm just probably going to draw something with some flowers. So I have my red micron here, and then I'm going to probably uh, add something like this on both sides. Very simple thing, 2 lines and some petal shapes like this. Yeah, and if you want you can add some lines in between also like this. So again 2 lines, some petal shapes, 2 lines, some petal shapes, and some lines in between, fine lines like these. So let's go ahead and do this exercise. You can add anything else of your choice. Please feel free, explore, make the tangle your own. Yeah, so that's what I am doing here, and I shall do that for all. Like this. Yeah, draw at your own pace. Choose any other color of your liking. So I'm still continuing with the same exercise, adding those nice embellishment inside these big petal shapes. So you can choose any other tangle or filler. I thought probably this will look a little different. Small little spaces there. Take your time. Slowly do that exercise for all. And the last few. Yeah. So I am done with that. Let us now shade first, and then we shall see if we want to add something else also. Yeah. So shading generally on both ends of the rice shape, that is the general way to shade. Let us try something new. So I'm just going to add some shade underneath. Something like this probably. Yeah. So let's see if it looks different. So just an experiment to give the effect of these petal shapes floating on the surface of the paper. Something like this. Yeah. So I'm going to go to each and add that shadow underneath. Slowly. Take your time. can use a grey brush pen if you want to add that shadow. Yeah, so just a little weight underneath, a little different shading from the usual way to shade your quandary. You generally add some shade in the center of each flower or on both sides of the rice shape, or if you have inserted some other tangle inside the rice shape, at times you go and shade that tangle. So it all depends, yeah. So I'm going to go to all, slowly shade each. Do it at your own pace. Take your time. No hurry. Yeah. I'm still continuing with the same exercise, and you can see how the petals seem to be floating on the surface of my paper just by adding a little shadow underneath. A little different way to shade your quandary. Yeah, so take your time. I'm going to continue doing that till I complete all. Slowly go to each. You don't have to blend too much, just a little shadow underneath. Yeah, I'm using almost the tip of my blending stub so that I don't smudge beyond a limit, just a little. Take your time and do that exercise for all. So as you work your way around, you can see we are working on each flower, one flower at a time. Yeah, and I think it's the last one here. That's about it. We are done. Some left here. No, we are done. Yeah. So we can either stop here. It looks as beautiful, yeah, like this also. But if you want, you can transcend over it, yeah. So if you have a bolder black pen handy, you can always transcend a little. So, but that is optional, right? So you may not do that. So I'm just going to add a few damsel leaves, a pattern again which we have already done. Make sure you use a bold nib which shows over your background. You may have to redo the lines a couple of times, and then I'm just going to add that damsel leaf which is drawn like this. Yeah, a very delicate looking tangle. Again, I've started the other one. Going to redo the line, add a little more thickness if you want, like this. Yeah, and then again add a half moon on one side and a little petal kind of shape on the other, like this. Yeah, and probably one last one here. Again redo the lines, add that thickness so that it is visible clearly. Again add the half moon, and then the petal shape inside. Like this. Yeah, so if you want you can add some more, entirely up to you. Probably we can add one last one like this. We want the background also to show. Yeah, so I don't want to add too many. And then add the half moon, ink it, and then add the leaf shape inside. Beautiful and delicate tangle, damsel leaf. Yeah. Some bit of rounding there. Again adding a little more prominence to the line. And the moon. Yeah. Now you can use your Gellyroll to add a dot here if you want. Yeah, and then something you may or may not do is to add a white line with your Gellyroll under this line, black line, just the way we do for transcending. Yeah, so I'm now using my Gellyroll 08 and adding a fine line under the black stems that I drew. But this exercise is again optional. If you want to do it, you can. If you don't, you can skip it. So I'm just adding a fine line under the black stem. Like this. And finally here. Yeah, it may not work very well because we have a watercolor base, but nevertheless we don't want too much also. So that's about it. I think we don't need to do anything else. I'm going to stop here. If you want, you can add some Bronx chairs with black at these points also. So there is no end to what you can do. So let's close our tile here. I'm going to put my chalk, sign and date. And I shall see you again with another new background. Yeah. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.